Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Kicking Aces here in World of Tanks, the series where I show off my absolute best replays. You may be wondering, is the title a spoiler? Will I get my mastery badge in this game, or am I just trolling you? Stay tuned to find out. This is a Tier 8 standard battle on Malinovka, and I am driving my T95E2. This is a Tier 8 American premium medium tank that came with the Founders Packs, the Battalion Pack. I really like this tank. It's a great silver earner. It's a good all-rounder, decent gun, good DPM, and great turret armor on this thing. If you can go hull down and just expose your turret and make the hatch, the commander's hatch on top, a tough target to hit, you can do really well in this tank. So I've climbed the hill here on Malinovka, and I spotted my first target, the AMX AC-46. That's a Tier 7 French tank destroyer. And I put one good shot into him, bounced his return shot, and pulled back into cover behind these rocks. There is a single artillery in play on the enemy team, so I'm going to try and keep moving here, try and use these rocks for cover. I certainly don't want to receive an artillery hit early in the game. That could ruin your day very quickly. So the enemy has a very low tier scout, Tier 5 Leopard. He pokes over the ridge there. I tried to get a shot into him, but he pulled back, so I was not able to put a hit into him. And so we're pulling back and trying to engage again from the other side of the rocks. I don't want to be too predictable where I am, so that these guys can pre-aim and put hits into me early. So again, poking out, trying to use these rocks to cover the base of my tank, and we're down 2-0 here when I spot my first juicy target. This is a KV-4. It's a Russian top-tier heavy tank, very well armored, heavy hitting gun. So I'm going to come out here and try and put some shots in. I do have his side, and I start to get trolled by these rocks on Malinovka. I had not run into this before. I don't know if you guys have had experience with this, but since they've changed this map and put in this two-tiered level for the hill, they've added these rocks here on the second level, and their collision model is off. So as you can see, those last three shots, my cursor was above the rocks. I was not aiming into the rocks, but my cursor was grayed out, and each of those shots still hit the rocks. So be aware of that. If you're down here, those rocks are taller, the collision on them is taller than they appear to be graphically. So I had a nice clear shot into the flank of that KV-4. I thought I was going to put him out of the game, but he got a miracle bounce from a flush shot. But thankfully I was able to reload and put another shot into him, and that one went through. So KV-4's down. That's my first kill of the game. So I'm going to creep out here. Again, we can push a little bit. I'm trying to get some shots, just exposing my turret. And we see an FCM-50T. This is a Tier 8 premium French heavy tank. And he can see me, and I have a thin bar on the side of his tank there that I'm able to sneak a shot into, and I can bounce his return. I do have the premium loaded here. I probably don't need it to go through this tank. It's pretty lightly armored, but there's a top tier tank. We're down a couple. I wanted to make sure I didn't bounce any shots here because each one was going to count. And we sneak a second shot in there, and that's my second kill. So down on the bottom of the hill now, we're down 3-8. I see a Churchill 7. That's a Tier 6 British heavy tank, and he's caught out in the open. And I had a premium shell in the chamber, so I fired it off, but I certainly don't need it to go through this guy. So I switched back to regular ammo and put a couple shots through him, and he's out. And that's third kill for the game. So now down the hill, I see a Sherman Jumbo, and these rocks too, as you can see, are once again taller than they appear. That first shot, I had a grayed out cursor, even though my reticle was above the rock, and my shot traveled right where I was aiming it, and it hit the rock. So again, these rocks on Malinovka are not what they appear to be. Take care when you're aiming over or around these rocks that you do actually have a lit up reticle, so that you know you're going to have shots at your target. So the Sherman Jumbo pulls behind the rocks, and we're down 6-10 here. And I have half of our team's kills at the moment. And there's a couple of light tanks from the enemy team that are down harassing our base. So I'm making the decision here that I need to get back to the base to try and deal with those light tanks, so that we can then turn around and face the brunt of the enemy again at the hill. We don't want those light tanks to clean up our rear guard, our artillery, and then come at us and have flanking fire coming at us from both directions, from in front and behind. So I'm working my way down the hill here, heading back to the base, and we see that there's an Aufklärungs Panther, and he and a second light tank are harassing our friendly T-34-1. And so I'm trying to rush in here, and I want to save this guy if I can. He's on low health, but right now we need all the guns that we can in this fight. So I'm taking a couple of long-range shots at this Aufklärungs Panther, and my aim and this gun are failing me a little bit right now. I'm trying to lead, trying to sneak the shots in here to do some damage, but they're falling short. The lead's not enough, and I'm really struggling here to help this guy out. So finally there I get a great shot, put it into his tracks. He's stuck. Our T-34-1 is killed, but I should be able to finish off the Aufklärungs Panther, and oh my word, fully aimed shot on a still target, and it sails high, goes right over the back of that tank. And that could prove costly. So the Panther gets away. It's 10-12, and so I pull back to the church here, and I pull up the map, and I'm trying to check the team list for the enemy team, because I want to see what's left on the enemy squad, what kind of tanks I'm going to be dealing with here. And I noticed that there's 3 enemies that are in a platoon together. Here they are. It's the Aufklärungs Panther that I just missed, the Borsig, and a T-29 on 4 kills. So these guys are no joke. They're going to be working together. They're going to be tough enemies to deal with. So we're going to have to approach this carefully. So our Jag Panther is approaching the enemy base, and I'm hoping he can put some pressure on the base and maybe force these guys to split up a little bit, turn their attention in a different direction. That might help us out. He does take out their last remaining artillery piece, and so that helps us out. So now I can come out from behind the church, and I can look to interrupt the cap, because the enemy are capping. I don't think it's the Panther, because it looked like he went back to the cap to help out defend his base. So I'm going to try to advance here, see what's capping, and see if I can reset it. So I'm going to advance, and again, try to stay in these gullies, and there is the Tiger. I back up the slope, sneak a shot into him, and the cap resets, but then immediately starts going up again. I don't think the Tiger is capping alone, and sure enough, there's the T-29. He is capping, and I get a little lucky here. I sneak a shot in. He must have had a damaged fuel tank, because that first shot sets him on fire. He either doesn't have or has already used his fire extinguisher, and that T-29 burns very nicely, and that's a huge help. That's a big kill there. So now I'm engaging the Tiger. Again, I have my turret armor facing him. I bounce a couple shots. He did track me there, and I was able to put one into him in return. Our artillery gets in a great shot. This guy is now 1 hit. My first shot bounces, and I aim low here, and see if I can get the lower plate, and yes, I can. Tiger is down, and that's my 5th kill. And all of a sudden, it's 2-1. It's myself and our artillery against the Borsig. So at the same time that I was fighting that Tiger, our Jag Panther took out the Aufklärungs Panther, and then was immediately killed by the Borsig. And I didn't quite appreciate that at the time, because I was engaging the Tiger. So I know the end result, but I didn't see exactly where our guy was positioned when he was taken out. So our artillery pings the map down on the ridge overlooking the lake, and that was probably the right move. If I would have gone there, I could have spotted the Borsig, and we might have been able to finish him off pretty easily. But again, I didn't know exactly where the Borsig was, so I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to go back up the hill. And this way I think that I can get up here before the Borsig, wherever the Borsig is, and if I can spot him, then I'll have the ridge line. I'll be able to light him up from my artillery. I can pull back to keep from getting hit, and hopefully we'll have a successful engagement. And if I guess wrong, and the Borsig does work around from the south, I'll be able to come down the hill with some speed, and hopefully engage him successfully to secure the win. So I'm poking here, trying to use that little bush if I can, just exposing my turret, seeing if I can get this Borsig to pop on the map. And I don't know where he is. I'm talking to the artillery, and then all of a sudden, the artillery gets killed by the Borsig. Okay, so now I know he did come from the other way. He came from the south, so I need to get back to the base. So I'm going to start to work my way back, and I want to give the Borsig a little bit of time to try and figure out where I am. If I come rushing back right now, he's going to be aiming up this hill. He'll know where I'm coming from. So it's a standard battle. He's all by himself. It's going to take him at least a minute and a half or more, a minute 45, to cap the base. So there's no rush here. So I'm going to sit, get my bearings, set my recording here for this last fight, and proceed down to engage this one-on-one. This is going to be a great duel. One of us is going to come out with an awesome win, with a great game, and the other one's going to come away with a really bad taste of disappointment. So I'm going to advance down the hill. Now I know the Borsig is extremely stealthy. This guy's probably got his crew and equipment configured for stealth, so I'm not going to be able to spot him before he spots me. That's just not going to happen. I don't have binoculars or other spotting equipment on this tank. It's configured as a brawler. So my thought is, come down this hill hard, fast, get down in these gullies, and hopefully I'll get close enough to him to spot him at the same time that he spots me. I'm not going to win a sniper duel with this guy. I need to get in close and brawl, and hopefully he's going to already have some damage, and I'll be able to take him out before he takes me out. Given my health, I can definitely take one hit. I might be able to take two, depending on how he rolls, and we'll just have to see if we can out-DPS him. Alright, so there he is. He spotted. I auto-aim, and I hit the wreck. He was in a wonderful position behind that wrecked tank, so my first shot misses, and he hits. So now I'm on 744 health. Average damage for that Borsig, if he's using the 150mm, which I think he is based on his first damage roll, is 750. So if he puts one more into me, I could be done. And bang, he hits me, but I trade two more, and I'm left on just a fraction of health. Anything he does right now to splash me, and I will be out of this game. I put one into him. My reload is a little too slow. I poke on the other side, put one into him. One shot left on either of us. Whoever gets this shot's going to get the win. I'm trying to keep the tank between us until I'm reloaded. Reload, fire, yes! Take out the Borsig, secure the 6th kill, Top Gun, and the victory. What an amazing result, and what an exciting finish to the game. So let's take a look at the post-game stats here. 192,000 credits, and of course that's with a little help from the 4 missions that I completed, every single mission that I was currently working on. Chest full of medals: Duelist, Spotter, Shellproof, Arsonist, Bruiser, Steel Wall, Defender, and of course the Ace Tanker badge. The one that I really wanted. I had not secured one in this tank yet. I'd had a bunch of first class mastery badges, but had not yet gotten my mastery, and boy was this the one to do it. So a quick look at the detailed results. 1,962 XP, 6 kills, 3,582 damage, with an additional 1,312 spotting damage, 100 base defense points, and we blocked 1,850 damage worth with our armor, more than the total hit points of our tank. So there it is, guys. That might be tier for tier my best, most exciting match in World of Tanks. I've had larger damage pools, I've had larger kill numbers, but start to finish, smart play, good result, and just an intense, exciting battle with a great conclusion. This might be my best one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content. Meat City is going to be grinding out the World of Tanks content over the coming days, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks.